Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing well. Today what we are going to do is go ahead and discuss GS4, that is the ethics portion of the main syllabus of UPSC. Now this is one of those subjects that often gets a lot of students clean bold right away, and the reason for that largely is because we are not exposed to either studying ethics in our college days or even before UPSC preparation anytime in our education, or it is that we ignore it. We choose to just kind of ignore it instead of paying some attention to it and instead of studying it. So that is why often what happens is you pass prelims exam and after that you don't have any understanding of how to cover this particular subject, and it's too late because after prelims you only get 3 months, maybe 2.5, 3 months to prepare for mains. So that's why the most important advice that I would like to give all of the aspirants today is that cover this subject at least once, just at least once before the prelims exam. Because if you cover it before the prelims exam at least once, then you will have a basic understanding of the subject, you will be familiar with the subject, you will have sorted out your study material, and then with the study material you can just go ahead and practice after the mains exam, and you will be in a perfect shape to study for this particular exam. Alright, so the way I have structured this particular presentation today, this particular session today, is that first we are going to understand the syllabus, then we are going to understand various aspects of this exam, then we are going to understand this is the theory aspect and the case studies aspect. Then we are also going to understand, apart from syllabus and the aspects of this exam, how to solve for these theories and case studies. Okay, what are the techniques that you can use for solving this particular paper, and then we will look at some live case also in order for you to understand how to approach the case study. So this is the approach I'm going to take today in this session in order to address your questions about ethics. So let's jump into that right away. We have already discussed some of this. This is a tough paper because it is a very lengthy paper, number one. So you are going to get 3 hours to write it, but you will feel like you need 4 hours because the questions are many and the time is less, and the word limit is also very specific, but it is very difficult to write in that limited word limit. So that's why I feel like this is one of the most lengthy papers, and that's why it becomes very difficult to attempt this paper. So you need to have a lot of writing practice for this in order to able to do justice to handling the length of the paper in the given time limit. वो बहुत बड़ा challenge होता है इसका. The second biggest challenge of this particular paper is also that it is a largely subjective paper, which means that ethics is a subject which deals with theories of morality, theories of probity, integrity. So all these things are largely shaped by our understanding of the world. On one hand, our personal experiences, right? And on the other hand, then there are some standards. Then there are some overall moral standards which have been codified by thinkers to a large extent. By what do I mean by this? Like, for example, let's say we believe that it is okay to sometimes lie. Let's say some of us believe that in order for the greater good to prevail. That might be good for some, that might be okay for some people to accept. But then there will be another school of thought, फिर उसके बाद दूसरे एक moral theorist या फिर moral thinkers होंगे जो कहेंगे नहीं, दैट इज नॉट ओके, यू शुड नेवर लाई. इस तरह के मॉरल डिलेमास, एथिकल डिलेमास को आपको अंडरस्टैंड करना होगा फ्रॉम ए थियोरेटिकल पर्सपेक्टिव, फ्रॉम ए कॉन्क्रीट पर्सपेक्टिव, इन द वेज प्रीवियसली फिलोसफर्स, एथिकल थिंकर्स, मॉरल थिंकर्स हैव थॉट अबाउट इट. तो ये एथिक्स में एक बहुत बड़ा पोर्शन होता है कि आपका एक पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस होता है, उसकी वजह से आपके थॉट शेप होते हैं, और एक सेट स्टैंडर्ड्स होते हैं मोरालिटी के जो एक्सपेक्टेड होते हैं आपसे. And some of them might be something that are codified or that are thought previously by the great thinkers, ethical thinkers or great personalities. So that is why it becomes a tough paper, because there is a lot of subjectivity in it और उसमें कोई ऐसी concretization चीज़ों का नहीं है. And that is the trick. The trick is at the end of the day you have to concretize it at as much as possible, and to do that you have to study the syllabus and the theories properly. So syllabus क्या है? सिलेबस जो है GS4 का वो क्लियरली बोलता है दिस इज ए पेपर ऑफ एथिक्स, इंटेग्रिटी एंड एप्टीट्यूड. एथिक्स, बाय एथिक्स बेसिकली व्हाट इज रॉन्ग और राइट. इंटेग्रिटी इज हाउ वेल डू यू होल्ड अप योर स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ हाई स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ अपराइटनेस, ऑनेस्टी, एटसेट्रा. एंड एप्टीट्यूड इज सिंपली नथिंग बट whether you are capable to actually apply these particular principles in real life. That is aptitude. Practically in real life, how well can you apply this principle? That is aptitude. All right. So this is the syllabus that is given by UPSC, and if you see, UPSC is clearly saying that it wants to test the candidate's attitude and approach to issues that are relating to integrity, probity in public life, and problem solving approach. Meaning that they want to understand, they want to check what is your understanding of various ethical issues that are surrounded, that a civil servant is surrounded by in his or her general course of life, number one. And these have to be obviously related to integrity, probity in public life, and how do you solve these problems that will appear in front of you. So this is done in case studies. And further, various issues and conflicts faced by him in dealing with society, and questions may utilize the case study approach to determine these aspects. Now, why does UPSC say this? Well, UPSC here through the ethics paper is trying to be very practical in understanding what kind of integrity and what kind of moral standards you have. मतलब आप कितने ईमानदार हैं, कितना क्लियरली आप इन इश्यूज के बारे में सोचते हैं, यूपीएससी उसको टेस्ट करने की कोशिश कर रही है. तो उसके लिए उसने एक बहुत क्लियर गाइडलाइंस दी हैं कि उस इंटेग्रिटी को चेक करने के लिए वो आपकी बेसिकली प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग अप्रोच जो है इन रियल लाइफ व्हेन यू डीलिंग विद सोसाइटी, that they want to check. Any civil servant faces a lot of ethical dilemmas, moral dilemmas, various problems that are faced by the society, and you have to somehow interfere, you have to somehow play a role, even not interfere, sometimes even play a role of a coordinator, facilitator to solve these problems in the society. And they want to see whether you can play this role. And these kind of roles can be in various arenas. This can be in disaster management, these can be in any kind of legal versus ethical cases. There might be situations where there is a legal point of view and there is an ethical point of view, and you will have to judge where the final balance lies. Then how do you deal with problems of nepotism, favoritism, right? How do you deal with the problem of corruption, any kind of pressure that is put on civil servants, all these. Then there are environmental problems in the society. All these problems you will have to deal in this paper from an ethical perspective. Remember, this is an ethics paper, so there has to be an ethical dimension along with the other dimension. So if you read the syllabus, that's what the syllabus goes through. It goes through attitude, what is attitude, what is aptitude, and the foundational values of aptitude for civil services. For example, qualities like integrity, impartiality, non-partisanship, objectivity, dedicated to public service, empathy, tolerance, compassion, etc. So these are all different kind of qualities they are looking for, and that's what you need to have an understanding of what these qualities mean, because unless you understand कि इन quality का क्या मतलब है, आप अपने लाइफ में कैसे उसको implement करोगे. तो यही एक इस पर्टिकुलर पेपर का गोल है कि आपसे वो जो इसमें टॉपिक्स दे रखे हैं, कीवर्ड्स दे रखे हैं, उनको अंडरस्टैंड करना चाहते हैं. दिस पेपर इज ट्राइंग टू जज वेदर यू हैव इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस. वो उन्होंने यहाँ पे क्लियरली खाया भी है, कॉन्सेप्ट्स वगैरह उसके, एप्टीट्यूड वगैरह और एटीट्यूड, ये सब चीज़ें वो टेस्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. तो आई वुड रिकमेंड यू रीड दिस पर्टिकुलर सिलेबस वेरी वेरी क्लियरली, द टॉपिक्स गिवन इन इट, और उन टॉपिक्स की लिस्ट बनाओ, और हर टॉपिक की लिस्ट, हर पर्टिकुलर जो टॉपिक का कॉन्सेप्ट है, कीवर्ड यहाँ दिया हुआ है. कीवर्ड फॉर एग्जाम्पल एप्टीट्यूड फॉर सिविल सर्विसेज, इंटेग्रिटी, impartiality, probity. You should have definitions and you should have material ready for each of these topics. Now, another important part of this particular syllabus is the contribution of moral thinkers and philosophers from India and the world. So, one very important thing for this particular subject is also that you make a list of important moral thinkers and philosophers. Just main 15 to 20 ones, and then you study basic ideas that they gave, basic theories that they gave. So, for example, there would be Plato, there would be Mahatma Gandhi, there would be Aristotle, there would be Baba Saheb Ambedkar ji, there would be other such thinkers that you have to know. There would be some other thinkers also, Indian thinkers who have contributed to this. There would be obviously Chanakya, because he had a particular moral, ethical and economic policy that he thought about, right? So ऐसे करके there will be different thinkers that you have to have in your repertoire, in your list, and you should know their main ideas. There are some main quotations from them or certain main teachings of theirs which are very important or just basic things that you should know for this particular subject. Alright, then after that, this is one important part of this particular syllabus. After that, various dilemmas in government and public institutions, laws, rules, regulations, and conscience as sources of ethical guidance. This simply means that you should know certain important laws that have created some kind of ethical dilemmas or have addressed some kind of ethical dilemmas, ethical questions. For example, there was Vishaka Guidelines, which is pretty much one of the most important guidelines ever in India, and they dealt with women's grievances regarding sexual exploitation in India, right? So that you have to know. Then apart from that, then there is a very clear topic about probity in governance, concept of public service, philosophical basis of governance and probity. So all these kind of topics are very important, and you can see these topics are given here. You go through them and make sure that you have studied each and every topic, because from there directly questions are going to. So for example, they have given right to information. What are the challenges with right to information? How right to information should be implemented in real life? Case studies on this have come in UPSC. Similarly, citizens charters, governance and probity, and public funds, utilization of public funds and corruption thereby, which is cost because of improper utilization of public funds. So all these are very, very important, and case studies on all these above issues are bound to come in this particular exam. Alright, so this is the overall view of this particular syllabus. Next we move on to what are the main two portions of this exam. They're nothing but the theory portion and the case studies problem. Don't try to make it very complicated. See, a lot of these topics that are given here you are going to study in GS also, in GS3, GS1, in some of the other form, GS2 especially. But you have to study it more from an ethical point of view, and you have to study it more from a case study point of view for GS. Now theory in GS4 is nothing but definitions and examples of various keywords and concepts that are given in the syllabus. So for example, there is a topic on probity, integrity, then there is a topic on attitude. You should know the definition of all these things. You should know them well so that you can reproduce them in the exam very easily and fast. I told you the exam is lengthy. और उसके बाद आपको उसके एग्जाम्पल्स भी होने चाहिए आपके रेडी. These examples could be of real life, very big personalities who have set some examples in this particular points, civil servants or other well-known personalities that you can include. And in case studies, you have to have a more process-driven approach, by which I mean how to solve a particular case, how to solve a particular problem that has been presented to you. Case study is nothing but a problem. It is a problem that is presented to you. It has certain challenges, and you have to show how you come up with certain options to overcome this problem or these challenges. So you have to follow a process here, and I will also talk about that in detail. So what is the theory portion? Like I told you, there are questions of generally 4 types. Definitions on ethical principles, like I told you already. Examples associated with, like I told you already. Basically, there is nothing but examples and definitions. What is the main significance of that principle? You should also understand that. Why is that significant, that principle? Let's say you're talking about integrity. Why is integrity important? Important क्यों होती है ये? Significant क्यों होती है public life में? That you should know. And the application of that principle in real life. So I will show you some examples of that here. So for example, let's say they're asking us about probity. What is probity? So what kind of questions can they ask? What question? Why that particular thing is important? That kind of a question. How? How does that particular concept impact the lives of civil servants? Alright. What are any differences between that principle and some other principle? So that is also often asked by UPSC. Some examples you should know. So all these various dimensions of a particular topic you should know. So let's say they are asking what is probity. Why is probity essential in public service? How does probity play a role in life and work of civil servant? And what is the difference between integrity and probity? So this kind of a question they should ask. They could ask, and they have asked in the past. तो आपको क्या करना है? पहले definition देनी है. Simple. You should understand the definition. What is probity? And here I have given the definition that probity can be defined as the quality of having strong moral principles. Basically, it is the quality, it is the fact that you have some strong moral principles, that is called probity. And it is essential in governance, and it is very important for effective and efficient systems of governance and for socio-economic development. So यहाँ पे हमने what बताया, फिर why बताया, why it is important. I have taken one definition from the Insights on India website also, that for individuals, probity is about understanding the limits of their authority and power and acting within those limits. So for individuals, probity is nothing but acting within the limits of power and authority that has been given to them. But integrity is basically having the highest standards of conduct in various dealings in the government business and to avoid conflict of interest. So that is the difference between integrity and probity. That probity is about understanding your limits, having a high moral character, but also understanding your limits according to authority, what you are allowed to do and what you are not allowed to do, and working within the rule of law, right? But integrity is kind of a little bit different in the sense that integrity is about your general characteristic, that you are having higher moral standards when you are doing any kind of dealings in the government. And probity is more like about how you behave, how you make sure that your behavior is within as per the accordance of the law and the ethics that are expected from you. So these are the differences, minor differences, very difficult to understand. So you might have to read this multiple times in order to understand it. That's why I'm laying so much emphasis कि आपको concepts के बीच में difference पढ़ना आना चाहिए. ये further उसको मैंने यहाँ पे explain करा है. You can go ahead and look at this explanation in order to understand the difference between integrity and probity. But the whole point being, you should learn the concepts theoretically from what, why, how, examples, differences, point of view, so that you can easily answer these questions in the mains exam. Now, theory, like I told you, you should know the definitions of each of the keyword with examples, know the examples. You should be prepared with these questions and each principle with examples, and you should further also prepare definitions in your notes in order to answer these particular questions. Now theory part हमारा खत्म हो गया. अब हम case study पे आते हैं. Case study is nothing but real life application of various principles of ethics, and this has to deal with, they will present you a certain problem and you have to solve the problem. You have to come up with options that help you solve this problem. कि हम एक particular situation में, let's say एक adverse situation create हो गई है, उसमें हम उसको कैसे solve करेंगे. Example, you are the district magistrate or you are the SP. There is a law and order situation where some minority people, some people of the minority religion have come to you demanding that a procession, they want to carry out some religious procession through the streets of that particular district or that particular town. But there are people from other particular religion or other particular community who are opposing this, that this particular procession should not pass through this particular area. This is a real life situation, I tell you. Then what will you do? How will you handle this situation? Think about it, because these are the kind of questions, these are the real life situations you will face in the UPSC exam, UPSC life also as an officer. So you should know how to handle this, and that's why you need to have a framework. Framework का मतलब क्या होता है? Framework का मतलब होता है एक आपके पास एक फॉर्मूला होना चाहिए जिसके थ्रू आप उस प्रॉब्लम के बारे में सॉल्व करने में उसको हेल्प कर सकते हैं. बेसिकली फ्रेमवर्क मीन्स नथिंग बट some kind of a formula or some kind of steps, processes, ways. Think about that problem कि अगर इस प्रॉब्लम में मैं फंसा हुआ हूँ तो उसको इस तरह से मैं सॉल्व कर सकता हूँ. वो फ्रेमवर्क्स आपके माइंड में होंगे तो इट विल बी easier for you to solve case study. Okay, so I will show you here. That is one process I have developed, or one framework that I have developed for you in order to think about case studies. All right. So how do you think about case studies? Well, simply first you read the case study कि क्या दिया है प्रॉब्लम और उसमें सबसे बड़ा एथिकल क्वेश्चन क्या है. और मैं इसको थोड़ा ब्रॉडफाई भी करूंगा, नॉट ओनली एथिकल क्वेश्चन बट लीगल क्वेश्चन, और सेंसिटिव चीज क्या है जिसकी वजह से प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट हो रही है. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल हियर आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट दिस एडवर्स सिचुएशन वेयर देयर इज अ प्रोसेशन. व्हाट आर द एथिकल चैलेंजेस? द एथिकल चैलेंजेस हियर वुड बी, आर यू सेंसिटिव टू द claims of the minorities of whatever traditional practices they might have? Are you a sensitive, objective, impartial civil servant? For you, it doesn't matter whether the community is a minority or a majority, whatever, it doesn't matter. What matters to you is that you need peace in your district. What you want to care about is, मुझे शांति चाहिए. I don't care about anything else. There should be peace and it should be done legally, ethically, ensuring there is a balance and everyone's ideas, thoughts are not compromised, they are taken care of, they are balanced out. So you have to first identify the ethical question that is being presented in the question. Then you write down the facts of that particular case. What are the फैक्ट्स, हु आर द स्टेक होल्डर्स, कौन कौन उसमें लोग इन्वॉल्व हैं, हु आर द डिफरेंट पीपल इन्वॉल्व, देयर माइट बी पुलिस, देयर माइट बी some municipal department, there might be citizens, NGOs, there might be religious leaders, there might be some women's organization or some organization, different cases. So you have to write down all these different kind of lawyers or bar association from a legal perspective. So all these kind of media, right, political leaders, these are the stakeholders in a society, and you have to write down what are stakeholders involved, what are the facts of the case, what are the major facts of the situation, कहाँ से प्रोसेशन पास करेगा, वहाँ हिस्टोरिक कुछ फैक्ट है क्या. इस तरह से जो केस में दिया गया है, कुछ अज्यूम बाहर से मत करना. डोंट गो आउटसाइड द स्कोप ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. Whatever is given in the question, use only that data. Then you understand these facts and needs of various stakeholders that are involved. जो भी इनकी needs हैं stakeholders की, उनको क्या चाहिए. At the end of the day सारी human problems होती हैं, ethical problems, human related problems. So हर किसी stakeholder की कोई need होगी. So what are the needs of these stakeholders? Then the next thing will be, how do you brainstorm various options? Now once you have understood these are the people involved, these are the problems involved, this is the ethical situation involved, then you should come up with some kind of brainstorming to do, find out what are the options I have in order to solve this problem. I will have various options. I can pass an order, legal order, that no one will be present outside on that day. 144 का order pass कर दिया, that there will not be any kind of gathering of people. So you can have these different legal options, ethical options, or even illegal options, even illegal options or immoral options, unethical options. So you have to list down these options. Once you list down these options, then test them one by one with your own mind. मुझे पता है एक option है, let's say I can scare some kind of people through hard power and tell them if you come out on this day, I will make sure that you're punished. But is this an ethical thing to do? Is it a legal thing to do? No. And of course you will not do it. So that kind of testing you should do with each of the option in order to test whether they pass the ethical or moral reasoning or legal reasoning. So ये पूरा धीरे धीरे आप प्रोसेस करके स्टेक होल्डर्स से, फैक्ट से अब ऑप्शंस पे आ गए. ऑप्शंस के बाद उनको एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ेगा आपको हर ऑप्शन को कि इस ऑप्शन का पॉजिटिव क्या है, नेगेटिव क्या है, वेदर इट इज राइट, वेदर इट इज रॉन्ग, एंड आफ्टर दैट यू फाइनलाइज इट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ योर एनालिसिस. See, I would like to tell you one thing, that lot of these things might be very commonsensical, or lot of these things might be, you might feel that अरे ये तो सिंपल है, ऐसे तो हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. बट इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू ऑल्सो राइट इट डाउन एंड हैव ए प्रॉपर प्रोसेस, हैव ए प्रॉपर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, बिकॉज समटाइम्स these situations can be quite problematic or quite complex, and in that you need to have various options. आपके options कितने wide हैं, कितने creative हैं, on that the examiner is going to also grade you. What is the creativity in your options? What is the balance that you present in your options? Okay, and eventually you should also think and reflect. Once you have come up with the final option or options, you should also think and reflect that from what ethical dimension, legal dimension is that option the best, and what kind of repercussions it has on the society. All right, so this is the framework that I would follow for answering any case studies. Very easy to understand. Practice it, practice. खाली ये framework समझना enough नहीं है, उसको practice भी करना है at least 100 case studies में बाद. These are the steps I told you already, but I have just provided them in the list format. And remember also to support your options with existing laws, guidelines, any reports by commissions, law commission or something, any kind of something that might have already occurred and some bureaucrat or some leaders took very good decision on those particular thing. So those examples also, and use them to bolster your point, use them to support your point of view, because that will give credibility to you, that will provide support to your answer. So this is also very important. All right, now I have also given here further details on how to go ahead and solve case studies. At least 100 आपको प्रैक्टिस करनी है, और यहाँ पे मैंने आपको उसका एग्जाम्पल भी दिया है कि डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट रिलेटेड हो सकती है किसी चीज के आगे. और केस स्टडीज में जैसे मैंने बताया आपको एक पूरा प्रोसेस बताया, उसके साथ ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट है कि कैरेक्टर्स का मतलब है स्टेक होल्डर्स इन्वॉल्व, और उसी का एक्सटेंशन है दिस पेज. सो यू कैन गो थ्रू इट एंड यू कैन रीड इट प्रॉपरली. अपने आई विल अपलोड दिस पीपीटी, so you can read these steps so that you have a very clear idea how to do it. Okay, now let's do one live case study in order for you to understand very well what I am talking about. You are the executive director of an upcoming infotech company which is making a name for itself in the market. Mr. A, who is a star performer, is heading the marketing team. So what are the facts? Facts लिख लो यहाँ पे. You have a company and you are the ED, executive director. Okay, number. My role. Then there is Mr. A. He is a star. Marketing team में he works and he is a star. In a short period of 1 year, he has helped in doubling the revenues as well as creating high brand equity for the company, so much that you are thinking of promoting him. So thinking of promotion. I am thinking of promoting him. And however, you have been receiving information from many corners about his attitude towards the female colleagues, about attitude towards females, particularly his habit of making loose comments on women. In addition, he regularly sends indecent SMS to all the team members, including his female colleagues. So indecent SMSs. One day late in the evening, Mrs. X, who is also one of the Mr. A's team members, comes to you visibly disturbed. She complains against the continued misconduct of Mr. A, who has been making undesirable advances towards her and has even tried to touch her inappropriately in his cave. Further, there is a personal complaint by a member of your team. She tenders her resignation and leaves your office. So she has even tendered resignation and leaves your office. What are the options available to you? Now here, UPSC is asking very clear question. What are the options? They can be ethical, legal and unethical. Any option. आप ignore करोगे, आप पुलिस के पास जाओगे, आप उसको फायर करोगे, आप इन्वेस्टिगेशन करोगे, आप उस पर्टिकुलर लेडी से बात करोगे कि उसको रिस्टोर करने की कोशिश करोगे, आप अपनी टीम की मीटिंग लोगे और उसमें इन चीजों का इंपॉर्टेंस डिस्कस करोगे और एक कंपनी पॉलिसी क्रिएट करोगे इसके बारे में. व्हाट इज द एग्जिस्टिंग कंपनी पॉलिसी? क्योंकि आप एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर हैं, क्या आप इसको हायर प्रोमोटर्स हैं कंपनी के या एमडीज हैं उनके पास लेके जाओगे प्रॉब्लम को? ऑल दीज आर वेरियस ऑप्शंस. ये जैसे मैंने अभी आपको एक 4-5 ऑप्शंस बताए, ये सब ऑप्शंस हैं और उन ऑप्शंस को आपको लिखना है. स्टेक होल्डर्स डिफाइन करने हैं. ये मेरे ऑप्शंस हैं, ये मेरे स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं. हु आर द स्टेक होल्डर्स? द फीमेल एम्प्लॉइज, योर मेल, इवन अदर मेल एम्प्लॉइज, बिकॉज वर्क कल्चर गेट्स अफेक्टेड, योर सीनियर मैनेजमेंट, मीडिया, पुलिस, that person, Mr. A, who is involved in this. All these are various stakeholders and you have to list them, and then you figure out from the options that you have whether you are addressing each and every stakeholder or not. आप जब ऑप्शन निकाल रहे हो तो आप अपनी कंपनी का वेलफेयर देखोगे, पर आप सब स्टेक होल्डर्स को एड्रेस कर रहे हो कि नहीं, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो ये प्रोसेस अगर आप फॉलो करोगे जो मैंने यहाँ पे बताया, तो आपको ये 100% ईजी हो जाएगा इस तरह की केस स्टडी सॉल्व. इन एडिशन, in these kind of case studies, also utilize any kind of guidelines passed by the government, by Supreme Court, such as Vishaka guidelines are there. तो Vishaka guidelines को use करके आप कैसे इस particular case को solve कर सकते हो और उसका कैसे use कर सकते हो वो भी आपको बताना है. तो ये approach मैंने यहाँ पे बताई है. This is basically dealing with sexual harassment of women at the workplace. This is the basic ethical problem. जो ethical problem मैंने बताया कि आपको define करना है. What is the ethical problem here? Sexual harassment of women at workplace. So this is how you go through this particular problem. Now, other thing is don't use too many ethical jargons or philosophical jargons. अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा उसमें jargons use करोगे अपने solve में, normal plain language use करो, अच्छे options दो, अच्छा एनालिसिस करो, तो किसी भी जार्गन की यूज नहीं पड़ेगी. मे बी सम कीवर्ड्स यू कैन यूज, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट कुछ ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. नाउ लेट्स फाइनली कम टू द most awaited part, which is the sources. The important sources for this particular paper are Michael Sandel's ethics YouTube videos. He's a professor at Harvard University and he has provided some classes on YouTube for free. He teaches at Harvard and these are excellent for you to have an understanding of how ethics is thought about. Lot of online search on Google and you will have to mostly make your own notes of these different definitions. If you want me to suggest a book, I would say Lexicon on Ethics. But again, this book is not perfect and I think you should only refer to it for certain kind of select issues to fill up your gaps in your studies. Because there is no good book for this particular subject, so I'm not going to recommend one. And finally, case studies. You should do at least 100 case studies beforehand. And one of the good sources for case studies is Lukman. Lukman is a coaching institute based in Delhi. They also provide online case studies. I'm not endorsing them, but I personally use their case studies and I really like them. So that's why I'm recommending them. So these 4 sources you can use for this particular paper. So I hope today you have got a good understanding of this paper and you will use these techniques in order to get good marks in overall ethics, and your dilemma about ethics exam is hereby solved.